Hi everyone, Mitch here from Crown Jesus. It's lunchtime and it's St. Patrick's Day, so a happy St. Patrick's Day. I thought I'd do something a little bit different to cheer everybody up because it's lots of doom and gloom news out there. It's probably not the best time to do one of my Christmas cracker jokes. I know you love to hear those, but today I thought I would do a poem, and it's a poem by a brilliant Belfast man called Crawford Howard. And this poem is called St. Patrick and the Snakes. You've heard of the snakes in Australia, you've heard of the snakes in Japan, you've heard of that rattler, that old Texan battler whose bite may mean death to a man. They've even got snakes in old England, nasty adders all yellow and black. But in Erin's Green Isle we can say with a smile, they're away and they're not coming back. Now years ago things were quite different. There were serpents all over the place. If you climbed up a ladder you might meet an adder, or a cobra might leap in your face. And if you went for a walk up the Shankill, or a dander along Sandy Row, a flaming great python would likely come writhing and take a lump out of your toe. Now there was once a guy called St. Patrick, a preacher of fame and renown, and he hoisted his sails. He came over from Wales to convert all the heathens in Down. And he hobbled about through the country with a stick and a big pointy hat, and he kept a few sheep that he sold in the cheap. And so we know there's no money in that. And he was preaching a sermon in Cumber, and he was getting quite carried away. And he mentioned that Rome had once been his home. Sure, that was the wrong thing to say. And he felt a sharp pain on his cheekbone, and he stuck up his hand to his beak, and he saw that the thing that had lit on his gob and his bit was a wee Presbyterian snake. Now the snake slithered down from the pulpit, expecting St. Patrick to die. But your man was no dozer. He lifted his crozier and he belted that snake in the eye. And he said to the snake, "Listen, legless, you better take yourself off. If you think that trick will work on Patrick, you must be far worse now than daft." So the snake slithered home in a temper, and he gathered all his friends around, and he said, "Listen, mates, we may get on our skates. I reckon it's time to leave town." So it's no fun when you bite a big fella and you sit back and expect him to die. And he's so flaming quick with the on big stick, and he hits you a dig in the eye. So a strange sight confronted St. Patrick when he woke up the very next day. The snakes with long faces were all packing their cases and heading for Donegal Bay. Some got cheap flights to Mallorca, some booked apartments in Spain, but they were all heading out, and there wasn't a doubt they weren't planning to come back again. So the reason the snakes left old Ireland, and this isn't a word of a lie, they all went to places to bite people's faces and be reasonably sure they would die. And the old snakes still caution their grandsons, "For goodness sake, beware of St. Pat, and take yourself off if you see that big staff and the cloak and the big pointy hat." Hope you enjoyed the poem. It caused a little giggle, and I hope the coronavirus does the same and takes itself off. Have a great St. Patrick's Day. God bless. Bye-bye.